It's rare for Roy to hunt muntjac.
You've just got to get your whole stalking etiquette altered to looking and thinking about muntjac rather than being used to looking for roe or looking for fallow. Yeah, you've just got to slow down, just look in the understory and take everything in.
Muntjacus reevesi is rapidly expanding across the country, but it's yet to make its presence felt in Roy's natural habitat of Kent. So if he wants one, he needs to travel to Munty country. And that's why we find ourselves in a wood in Bedfordshire. It's evident that this is a wood managed for pheasants, but something else is enjoying the blue vending machines.
We were just having a quick chat about it, obviously trying to stop the deer knocking the feeders over constantly, but you can see one's been going through, you can just see the pins there. I think it's a fair trade. Some good muntjac stalking for a little bit of weight.
Roy is a guest of Mike Eatley and Barry Wells of MuntjacStalkingUK.com. Mike has known Roy for years, and because he's got plenty of nice bucks on this ground, has asked if he'd like the chance to take one. And as we know, Lord Lupton never looks a gift buck in the mouth. Well, unless he's shot it and is aging it, of course.
Muntjac are so unpredictable. That's the fun with muntjac. We stalk them on foot. We very rarely use high seats. We hope to find a number of deer every stalk, probably 15 to 30 deer every time we stalk. Predominantly we stalk in heavy woodland. We do have lots of other ground. We stalk over in excess of 6,000 acres.
Animals cross our path and Roy tries the call. We get a response, but someone has played this game before. Then a nice young buck steps out.
You stop walking. Yep. We were just going to stop up and have a call. And that little buck, well, I say little, he's a very nice buck, just came out and started feeding towards us a little bit. But he just kept coming forward, so there was no shot. And then, luckily for us, he just turned broadside, coming back across. Yeah.
Roy, like many hunters who travel here from across the world, finds this feisty little animal thrilling to hunt and totally intriguing.
He is an absolute little corker. So we're not into the medal classes with this one. But Mike and Barry have both very kindly said that we may be able to try and call another boy in and have a little bit of a play later on in the day and see what we can do. But he is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, really, really nice, beautiful representative buck. And I mean, again, just fascinating little creatures. Obviously they've got their teeth for a little bit of display and for fighting, but they've got massive scent glands as well. So obviously they are a musk deer, which is one of the oldest forms of deer there are. Where they are so small and they're used to living in a very tight undergrowth. That's how they communicate with the other deer about. You know, they're constantly scent marking and obviously giving a lot of markers and a lot of clues off, because when you're in a thick understory in a forest, then you are relying on other cues rather than your eyesight. And interestingly, I don't think their eyesight is quite as keen as some of the other deer species, but they definitely rely a lot more on their hearing and their nose.
Roy shot a buck that is probably just below a medal class. Nice uniform head, 2 good brow points, which will add to its score. Probably about 4 years old, I would suggest. That's it. Maybe a little bit more. Nice, good, top quality cull buck.
Barry is the resident gamekeeper on this bit of ground. We've seen lots of deer passing through, but what about the density of deer?
Yeah, I often do get, asked the question, how many deer are there? And in honesty, you just don't know. I would say maybe we've probably got certainly 200 deer in here, without a doubt. The amount I see when I'm feeding is pretty substantial. And we've got some good old bucks as well, some very old bucks, very good heads.
Take initiative though and protect your feeders.
Yes, well I've had to. Yeah, I mean, I say I trap every feeder. I mean, last year The squirrels are the worst damage. I mean, we had 198 squirrels last year, and I'm already up to 42, so that's the main problem. I also think in a wood, spring feeders are better than the tray feeders, because the deer can get to the trays quite easily, so hence why I've put steel around the feeders. Seems to work.
We are about to call it when Roy spots another buck and Mike gives him the nod.
Yeah, he's quite good. Morning, David. I just don't get the opportunity to stalk a lot of muntjac. Let us alone seeing a piece of ground like this that is so well managed for muntjac as well. The guys obviously know their deer very well, and to have the opportunity to take a beautiful buck like that, it's just super. Thick old neck on him, isn't he? He is beautiful. How are his teeth? Is he worn down one side? And with the canines as well. I mean, obviously, you know, as we spoke about before, they have been known to have a good tussle with the dog, and they can.
They do. Yes,
they can cause a lot of damage. And obviously, you know, there's evidence there that he's been fighting, and he's been scarred up by fighting with with other bucks. But is it a lot of interaction, you know, fighting with their antlers, or is it more with their teeth? Would you say?
Well, certainly with the dogs, we find that they seem to split them across the withers. Here.
Oh, really? So that they hit the dogs across there?
Yeah.
So that's not necessarily with the antlers. That's with the teeth more.
I would suggest that's with the teeth.
Yeah.
They are that sharp.
And on the teeth are quite sharp on the inside, aren't they? The inside, yeah. We were just having a closer look at them down on the floor, and the older buck has got a bit of an Aladdin slipper going on over there with one of his toes. That's obviously just bent over and then growing back in, and it's chipping off. But yeah, obviously there's no hoof care for these guys outside, so if the hooves on soft ground do start to curl up, they can really become extended and curl round and grow into their legs in extreme cases, or keep curling around. So yeah, if that gets any worse, it does make it quite uncomfortable for them. So yeah, he was certainly an old boy. Absolutely corking that. So you've got the pedicles here on the younger buck, a lot longer, and then the antler coming up from there, whereas as they get older, because obviously each time they cast, they lose a little bit of bone off the pedicle, so the pedicle over the years decreases. So with an older buck, they are going to have a shorter pedicle like that. Lengthwise, as Mike was saying, against the ear, they look very similar in length, whereas this one has got a much longer antler because the pedicle's receded. I mean, looking at these two boys face to face or next to each other like that, it really does show the tale of age. So you've got the youthful young man, quite slim in the face here on the left hand side, and this old boy on the right hand side is a little bit more like David and myself. A little bit battle worn and a little bit chubby and bull-like in the face. Both lovely bucks, aren't they? Yeah, superb. Again, I mean,
Roy has had a wonderful morning thanks to Mike and Barry. If you want the opportunity to stalk Muntjac with muntjacstalkinguk.com, then drop them a line and they'll sort you out.